It is 8 o'clock. We'll do the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I see that we have a lot of public discussion today. We'll skip over that. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda and minutes dated November 22nd?
So moved.
I have a motion by Law, second by Platt. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. You want to call Doug? Being this part of his. Oh. We're not gonna get any snow this winter.
Today, 3 to 5 inches.
I've had enough.
Me too.
What, about 2 weeks ago? Yeah. We got the 3 days of this rain.
So the pavement was dry.
Yeah. Heating was dry. I mean, there was some stuff coming down, but nothing that was sticking, so.
It's a big thing with additional
I
sign.
went down by Bird, I was only going 25 miles an hour.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Is that what they ran into the? Should be ran into?
But the stuff that we're doing, I'll let you get first.
Doug, we are up to the trail runners request.
Annually, the Kossuth County Drift Skippers and the Lakota Snow Eagles request to groom trails in the road right-of-way. They have the same maps as what they, or the same request as what they groomed last year. Both of them, they've had their certificate of insurance with us on file, so everything is proper. And I would recommend that the board would approve both of these requests. I got two separate motions for that.
Do I have a motion to approve the drift stickers?
So moved.
Motion by Stecker, second by. I'll second it. Any discussion on the motion?
It said the additional signs, are they gonna put more signs right there by Ram's place?
They do have that on their map as being additional signed. I think there's a couple of spots there.
Cause that's what that guy ran into that dredge, was.
Yeah, that additional signs is one right there by that drainage ditch, yes. And that is on the map there.
Any more discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor, say aye, please.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried unanimous. The next motion I need is for the Lakota Snow Eagles.
So moved.
Motion by Stecker, do I have a second? I'll second it. Do we have any discussion about the Snow Eagles? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Next, we are up to our, oh,
If we could, get those, I'll date those, Roger.
Okay.
Sign both of them.
no,
Give me,
Thanks.
thanks. We're up to the gap report. Anything to note on that, Tammy? I didn't see anything.
No, it's just the annual report. That report is the report of the activity that happens between June and July of each year. That separates the fiscal year. No, nothing.
Anybody have any questions on the gas report? If not, we're gonna let the record show that we acknowledged it and that there was no discussion. Next, we have the annual urban renewal report for FY 21-22.
This report is for 21-22, but it reports the cash balance at the end of fiscal year 2020, so it's the balance as of July 1st of 2021.
Anybody have any questions on the urban renewal report?
And ours, the only one we have is the Buffalo
Right.
urban renewal, which is set to expire in 2024.
Yeah, but we'll have the bridge built before then, won't we?
I'm sorry?
The bridge on the urban renewal.
Yeah, hopefully.
It's supposed to, it will expire.
What will expire?
The urban renewal ends 2024.
But the money will be there.
Yeah,
And then we got it for an additional 10 years, don't we, on that?
Well, we're gonna have to check into that because the amendment does not specify that. It does not indicate how long that's extended to, so we're gonna have to do some checking on that.
I think you'd better call down to the state and get some definite answers.
I thought for the second 10 years, we were gonna get it all to be able to.
So, I think it was either Continue that did that or who did that.
I don't know.
They do stuff like that, but I don't know that we had them working for us.
I'll check on who did it.
Bob Jostin was the attorney
Yeah, and he's retired.
and NICOG,
Yeah, with Nike.
but
Okay,
Joe Myrie is no
There,
longer
Joe
there.
Myering's the one that did it.
Yeah, but he's still there.
No, he retired, so I don't know, his replacement is who?
You know, it's
Is that
a
that
female,
Myrtle?
yeah. But I don't know her. I've not really gotten to know her at all. So.
so I'll call down and check on that.
Yeah, I'd call her, his replacement. and get an answer before we make a mistake.
Myrtle Nelson is her name. Phone number 641-423-0491, extension 211.
Oh, I'm sorry, I should have wrote that. I can't give you that number again.
Faster this time.
641-423-0491, extension 211. I got her fax if you want that.
No, that's fine.
Said her name Myrtle Nelson, executive.
Come on in.
Okay, thank you.
Hi Gary, hi Denny, did you guys stop in our office by any chance?
No.
Okay. I don't know if you'd want to.
We can
Intercom 102, Lisa, and just say that Gary and Denny are up here for me, please. You guys can sit down here, thanks.
Not one more winter? Can't go through the winter?
Well, I could do a lot of them.
You have to sweeten the deal a lot.
Do I have a motion to approve the annual urban renewal report? Motion by Plath, second by
Second.
Stecker. Any more discussion on it? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Thank you. So we will get too much discussion.
I am.
Can we go by my watch?
So how are you guys doing this morning? can. When you put down one corner. Bill, this is really turned up more, just.
When I come to town, you can see wheel tracks, that try stepping on the brakes. Just starting to get.
Short.
No,
Yeah, one
This afternoon, I might have to switch to my Crocs.
There you go.
yeah, Thursday.
They really change fast, right?
It's supposed to be cold tomorrow,
She gets a
then
lot
come
of.
back up.
Yeah.
I were taught, it's supposed to talk to that or something.
Yeah.
It's about 20.
They did say,
25
Brad said that we were gonna get the brunt of it, now it goes over more west to get the big snow. We're still supposed to get 1 to 3 inches, but they're supposed to get 3 to 5 over there now.
It says there was, the bands are pretty near, it's just a matter
They
of.
change around, I don't know.
And that can be removed today. You guys remember how long it takes to know that?
So what they say,
They're, one thing they're able to forecast a little bit better than us at all. Or, I mean, we have that ability to look at hourly forecast. Pretty nice. About 20 years ago, you know, snow was in the forecast, but we didn't know if it was supposed to be 6 o'clock or 3 o'clock or 1 o'clock,
I did it, I told her.
Right.
So if he went out, it'd probably be about. Snow.
Didn't really have, yeah. So that's cool.
One of the supervisors, who's in here, pulled the columns back in the rig. Talk to him, so we'll get some ideas, see if they allocate down the list into
Yeah.
So while they're out there now, they'll.
Where's he at?
check it out. There's some-
But his.
Coming back down.
I don't know, do you want to just keep these over here on the table, Roger?
That's good.
But she's
So they pick up some color of that. He's 169, about 1.5.
Yeah, he did.
We replaced the cross pipe in the road that failed.
Oh, yeah, he marked the picture. Yeah, he marked it, they had it marked, I remember that, cones
They
there.
got cones on, I was just gonna have to fix those cones.
Okay.
That's all done there.
Yep.
Right. That this spring. And they still have cones on. Send an email if we want.
Yep.
I went and looked at the uniform post at the road yesterday and down in the. They got that pipe covered. That looks really good. It's probably 4-1. A lot better than what it was.
I'm gonna driveways up north, they didn't need it, straight out.
Yeah, it's slow. It's been about 5. Punch with it.
Said they brought their in re-spoke and stuff.
What's that?
You know, someone just need to get that shoulder, which then I just asked him.
Yep.
You know, laid it out.
The details are
Because that's, the big thing I'm trying to get is that shoulder, I don't want somebody. going
Yeah, it's the
over
first meeting.
and put narrow.
Yep, that's Carter.
I don't know. Slope is there.
All right.
It's not wide enough.
Mr. Gates.
Mister.
Yeah.
Being that you are the longest term road employee, I think just about.
Or-
Correct.
Yeah,
Gary is,
come on up here.
has the most experience currently with the road.
Yeah.
Currently, you got any words of advice for all the people that might come and get a job, you know?
No.
No. We don't have anything to tell them?
They'll learn. 6, put it in your time.
How'd you last for, how many years?
43.
Oh, man, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Did you question it ever?
Oh, yeah.
43 times.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, Gary, I want to thank you very much for your work and everything you've done. And you could stay longer.
Yeah, I know, but it is time.
It's
It
time.
is time to go.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Gary. We
You bet.
appreciate it.
We'll get you.
But you're doing good.
Okay.
Evidence.
1, 2, 3. Wow, we'll get one more. All right, 1, 2, 3. Great, thank you.
Hard to believe, Gary.
Yeah.
I think the board would like to thank you.
Oh, okay.
Good shake your hand, wish you good luck. Retirement, enjoy it.
Okay.
Thanks for all the years.
Good luck, happy retirement.
Doug, you want to?
No, go ahead and get Denny and I'll
Okay.
take care of, I'll speak a little bit after.
Yeah, Danny, you're gonna have to come up here too.
Long time coming.
How many years? 31 years? That's kind of hard to believe too. Thank you, Danny. And-
Do the same thing.
Yep.
You're bright, but you're not reflective today, Denny. Yeah, all right, 1, 2, 3. You get one more.
You're doing good.
1, 2, 3. Got it, great, thank you.
Yeah.
No,
It's our bald heads that are shaking.
Well, that
back.
offset the shaking.
Yeah. You know, you don't have to quit, you know. You can get the award and then come back again, you know.
It's a.
Yeah. The board would like to thank you.
Thanks, Danny.
Yeah, if I could just say a few words, please. Both Gary and Denny, they work out of our Titanca shop. Gary, you were hired in March of '79, which 79, for people that were around in '79, that was a bad snow year.
I
winter.
started right after.
You
that.
started right after, so kind of saw the end of it and all, but that's a benchmark snow.
I saw them guys' timesheets and some of them were in the 20 hours a day, you know. I don't
Yeah.
know how they did it, but they did.
Yeah. So anyway, and then Denny, he was hired in July of 1991. As you said, Gary's got over 40 years. Denny's got over 30 years, over 70 years, almost 75 years worth of experience, combined with Jerry Beatty, who was over 40, maybe even 45. Where
Yeah.
in the last couple of years, we've lost a lot of experience on the road crew and especially the Titanca shop. Gary had Buffalo Township, Denny, Portland Township mainly for snow removal. They both also worked on tile, driveway construction, kept the roads up, good dependable employees. So on behalf of the road department, just like to say thank you, Gary. Presentation of a little plaque, little maintainer, and Denny, a little plaque with the maintainer as well. And wish both of you, Gary, you and Jean, and Denny, you and Renee, many, many years of happiness and good retirement. So, yes. Get a photo of you guys up there with the plaques, please, for our records.
Our records.
We're done with the pictures.
Well, we're getting there.
We put you both together here, so thank you very much.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, all right, 1, 2, 3. There you go. Here we go. That cord is hanging right by your ear.
Move over just a little bit.
That's all.
Pierce it, that's what you gotta need to pierce their ring.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. We'll get one more. All right, 1, 2, 3. Great, thanks.
Okay, just one for me, quick.
Thank you. Yes.
I think I got that.
Thanks, Danny. And give you
What?
have a good retirement.
I think I get it.
Have a good retirement.
Stop down in the office, we got a box for that, so.
That's
And we're, we got a box for
Okay.
and there's some standing for that. Stop down in the office.
Yeah, we got
Please.
some stuff to.
Congratulations.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
your check bureaus, you got ice in a hurry. It is.
Foreman got any words of wisdom for them too?
Glad to do
They got
this.
more experience than me, they tell me. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Service. Approval of construction in the road right away.
There's no request for construction of the road right away this week.
Any discussion with county engineer?
I'll just kind of bring you up to date on construction projects. The bridge down in Irvington, they did pour the deck a week ago. So now they'll be working on getting the barrier rail, getting things backfill, guardrail, and then we can open up that bridge. So get some good days, and shouldn't take very long. Bridge up in Lincoln Township, they poured a cap last week, and I'm sure when weather allows, they'll be pouring caps. They're planning on doing it today, but obviously with the weather, that's not working. Bridge up in Grant Township, section 14, that is complete. And Kyle, we are working on getting that tile outlet identified,
Okay.
so we should be able to get
Sounds
that
good.
thing repaired. And Highway 169 bridge opened up, if anyone did not hear that, about a week ago, right before Thanksgiving. And I haven't been over to Highway 18. I don't know how the shouldering is going there, but that's going to be close to getting done.
Saturday, looked like it was all done.
Is it?
They got a little roughness to level off yet.
I suppose they got to run their
They were leveling yesterday.
yeah, okay. Both the Ledyard Wind and Kossuth Wind, they are reclaiming their driveways and getting things back in shape that way. Still looking for mechanic applicants, having trouble doing that. Lone Rock getting ready to offer that position. Transfer station, we got some background checks, so after that we'll be ready to offer. And Titanca, the two positions, Gary and Denny, we're taking applications. They're supposed to be here by Friday, so hopefully we'll get those replaced also. Then I sent out some the wages. I don't know if you had any more questions on that or requests. I did email that to the board. And Friday we have a drainage district meeting down at Fort Dodge. I'm planning on going down there. However, I'm leaving at noon. I got exit interviews with Gary and Denny in the afternoon scheduled. So if anyone would like to ride with me, the problem is I'll be leaving before lunch. So just let me know.
Planning on it, but I have another meeting the same day too, so I gotta see how that works out.
Other than that, that's kind of all that I have right now.
Anybody have anything for Doug? If not, thank you, Doug.
You bet.
Want to stick around for Vince's or?
I
he's
can
talking
if
to you?
you'd like. Yeah, I talked to Vince a little bit yesterday, so.
Okay.
Sure.
Would that fall under approval of construction in the road right away? What we're gonna discuss?
There'll be discussion, I don't know if there'll be a decision or
We've
not.
got two more things on the agenda, and that's on the agenda for drainage.
Right, so they were looking for it.
Oh,
Maybe we'll do both over.
What's that, right?
Jim ain't gonna be available till 10 o'clock.
She said
So
she-
should we just postpone it for a
Well,
week?
wait till she comes in to see, she said she.
See if it changes, I don't know.
Unless Donnie wants to be here, not Donnie can be here next week.
Nothing's gonna change, we're gonna talk about it
Right.
in 2 weeks, I don't care. We'll see what Mark says when he comes in.
Did you say he's not available till 10?
Yeah, then, I just had a sticky note that said he wasn't available till 10.
It's up to the board, what do you wanna do, it's our next thing on the agenda.
No,
I mean, I
no,
don't-
Yeah.
we won't be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it needs to be.
We'll have to put it on next,
Don's not gonna be here.
But I'm just bringing it up because, I mean,
put it on 2 weeks and give
2
Jeff
weeks.
enough
Yeah,
time to put it on
and
this.
get a definite
The
time.
13th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we have, next thing on the agenda, you got that down for 2 weeks?
Just let the, yeah, just. And show that.
Let the record show that we postponed it for 2 weeks.
Okay.
And then we'll go to landlord's request for use of spoils and open ditch right away.
Yeah, the one that had talked to me about it was not able to make it for the meeting now today with the weather, so we'll have to postpone that too.
Okay, we'll go 2 week, or a week on that, is that fine?
Yeah, should be.
Okay.
I'll check with them, but,
Check with them before we put it on the agenda, then we'll check.
okay.
We have a change order on DD4 on the FEMA repairs. Right?
Yes, that's,
That's for the extension?
that is for the extension, yes, that's the contractor has continued to work, since the snow's been out and they've been able to, they were, continuing to doze, spoil, and level that all out. They were hopeful that they would just have, one section of dozing and then the rubbish and rock pickup, left for in the spring. I don't see that as being a large damage to the district, if any at all, as long as they get out there right away in the spring and get those picked up. They were hopeful in the spring, 10 days to 2 weeks, they should be able to have all that rock picked up and disposed of.
So I guess my question to you is, do you want to make a recommendation to change the completion date? Or do you want them to be held responsible and hold the 10% on fill?
I believe my recommendation is to extend the completion date, and because of that, we would hold that 10% until after the completion date. So we would have the retainage until,
We would maintain that.
right, yep, until that, such time that the work is done, essentially.
Whatever, either way works.
Why
You
is-
have the change order and
Yeah.
paperwork all.
Yes, that's all, I believe March has that.
Okay, yeah, so it's, are you ready for a motion for that?
Yeah, but you have to have a date on when you.
Yes, it's
March 15th.
March 15th. And that all, we spoke
That's,
with
that's in the change order.
Leon about the, how that coincides with the FEMA dates, and it's all well within the time frame yet for that.
Mark, do you have the particulars on that, so we get it in the motion correctly? You extended it till March?
Is it
It's-
change order
Yeah,
number one?
Change order number
Change
one,
order
Yeah.
number one.
So that would
To
be
be
it
approved, change order.
Yeah.
for the motion.
right, to,
All the other stuff is in the change order
Yeah.
for
Correct.
details, right?
correct.
4 days, okay.
Yeah, it's moving it, the completion date from December 1st to March 15th of 2023.
Yeah.
Do you think he's not gonna have the rocks picked up by then either, is he?
I'm hopeful, in discussions with him, we're pretty sure we can get it done by,
Depends upon the winter.
well,
Yeah.
essentially, yes. But that's where, we have to have it by then because of the FEMA dates right now. Leon is fairly confident that the pop date on the projects will be extended because there's more significant projects that are going on that are going to take more time.
In other areas. of the
In other areas of the state, yeah, not in Kossuth County. That would also extend the completion date on this, but at this time, that's about as far as we can go. And then hopefully we get, some early thaw. But it's that, or they try to do it now, and I think they'll make a bigger mess with ground partially frozen, trying to do it this way. It was, and I've said this at prior meetings, but just for everyone's information here, it was a matter of with the amount of spoils that got taken out to limit crop damages and the amount that they leveled and pushed out into the fields. We waited until after harvest to get a majority of that done. And in waiting, that gave us only essentially November to get all that work completed, and most of November was lost in a couple of snowstorms, so.
Do I have a motion to approve the change order for DD 4?
So moved.
Motion by Stecker, do I have a second? Again, do I have a second to approve the change order? I'll move to approve, or second, motion. Any more discussion? Do you have anything else, Mike?
Do we know how much money's been paid in on that project?
I know that FEMA, I know that money's been,
It's
Being
in the
received.
6-figure digits already, for sure.
it's- yeah, I don't, Marge, do you have an idea of how much FEMA's paid on?
It's probably over.
I know that they've been getting,
200 and some on this particular project, but
okay,
overall, I'm not completely sure without looking at it.
They have been doing, as they come, they have been paying bills.
FEMA,
Yeah,
they submitted some directly for this one, and then it has to get approved through channels and all that to be, their final payment, and we haven't gotten that yet. But
That won't come till after it's all
Right.
done.
Till
But yeah.
this is completed.
but amounts have been coming in
Yes.
periodically from,
Yep. Approximately 200,000 we've gotten on this project.
okay.
Maybe a little more.
Any other questions? Hearing done, do a roll call vote on the extension.
Stecker,
Yes.
Casey,
No.
Loss,
No.
Plath,
Yes.
Jerks,
Yes. Motion carried 3-2. Anything else on the FEMA? Mark?
Nothing.
Mark, would you send, McGuire, or an email telling him that this has been extended and he's not going to get compensated for his bridge plank until McNerney, there you go. He deserves an email.
Okay.
Next, we are up to Vince's request on drain 4. Request number 2022-063 on drain 4. And we are up discussion. Vince, I looked at it and it's in the road ditch. Some of it.
I'm just looking for, you know, the right to put the crossing in, and it's on the counties, within their right of way, so.
It's like any other driveway, you're still liable for the fine.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. I was gonna say that, McCoors did an engineering report that's still valid on that.
Mm-hmm.
It's less than 10 years old, and they should be able to give you the size without doing much research. Because we put a pipe in Winters, you know where Winters place is? Straight west of the ethanol plant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That'd be a completely different ditch.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah, it
different,
would be a different.
that's a different ditch.
Yeah.
That's
But
not
that
standard.
drain 4 report should be there yet.
Yeah, it still is. Yeah.
So does the county pay for the engineering that's in the right of way or not?
Well, other counties pay for the engineering. It relieves the county of any liability if something happens. That's where the engineering comes into play, but I just wanna get a crossing in.
It hasn't been paid by the county in prior situations, so.
Well, I don't believe any have ever been in the county right away though either.
No, it's not completely in the right of way, the edge of the ditch is in the right of way.
Well, how many feet is the right of way for the county?
60.
It's a 66-foot road, 33 feet on each side of section line.
So we lasered from the center of the road to the far berm on the other side, and it's 64 feet.
That doesn't work with the measurements, it's 66 total, half is on
So it'd
each
be
side.
Right.
33.
I'm just giving you the measurement, not. So half the ditch would be in the county's right of way.
So what's your prerogative, Vince? Do you wanna hire an engineering firm to give you a recommendation?
Well, if that's the protocol of the board, yeah, I mean, I want everything black and white, I want it done right, you know.
So who would you like to hire?
Why, I guess whoever I want, as long as they're licensed drainage,
Correct.
yeah.
And they can go in and grab the report for that ditch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, if I can get a copy of that, then I can get them to them
Yep.
and
So we feel like the county has should pay anything on the right of way then, or just?
We have to okay it, yeah, what the engineer recommends, and then it still comes back here to be okayed.
So we don't have to have a motion appointing an engineer?
No, he's doing,
So you wanna allow him to choose his own engineer?
That's what we've done in the past. on
No,
drainage ditches.
it's actually not.
Well, tell me one instance that we didn't.
Well, drain 132 on, January 15th, 2013. There was a motion by McGregor, second by Wymore, to appoint Besh as a committee that repairs are made in the middle of section 15 of Prairie Township. That was for request number 1 of that year for Jeff Burdick for a private crossing. It says landowners will stand expenses for engineering and culvert, etc. But it was overseen by the board. It was not overseen by a private individual. And then the report came back to the board.
And in all those cases, it was the person that wanted the work done did choose the engineer and we approved it. That's what we do. The minutes don't say everything that goes on.
Kyle, who would you recommend then? I mean, sounds like you got somebody in mind already.
I didn't say I had anyone in mind. I'm just saying it should be the responsibility of the trustees because.
So
we're responsible for the
if I use engineering firms that you guys use, you use Bolton Inc., you use ISG, and you use, McClure, who else do you use?
What's the one on Westerville? I can't think of his name.
Jacobs and Westergaard.
Jacobs and Westergaard out of Esterville.
He's a nice guy to work with. I mean, he's up in your area.
So if I choose one of those engineering firms, I don't see an issue with it. If you're already working with them.
It shouldn't be the landowner's choice, it should be a board decision.
It's gonna be. a
Well,
board's
are you
decision,
gonna tell
but-
me who does, work, the contractor that's gonna do the work then too? Is the county gonna do the work because it lays in the county right away? Like a driveway, field approach? I mean, we're talking basically the same thing, other than we got a drainage ditch involved. It's,
If he chooses an engineer, we have to approve the report, and if you don't like it, you can disapprove it when it comes in.
That seems
I
a
don't see
little
what
off.
the big issue is.
There's no big issue, that's the way we've done it in the past, you
We'll
know.
approve the issue, we'll approve the,
well, I mean, McClure already did the engineering on it, so it's broke down in sections, so they should be able to look right at it and say, you need a 44-foot, 8-foot pipe
Right,
to get a 20-foot crossing, whatever it is.
correct.
You know, it's not gonna be a cheap project, guys.
No.
I mean, it's on my dime. I just want the approval from the board to do it.
Yeah, just as far as I'm concerned, you find an engineer that's qualified, bring it back to the board.
well, I think the issue here is that it's a private drive. We don't appoint engineers for private title, this is a private drive.
Well, it's crossing.
It's crossing a district facility.
So we appoint.
Or yes, do you know who you want to do it? You want Lucas to do it?
What's the board telling me I need to do? I guess if I use one of them engineering firms that you guys use, I mean, if you have the confidence in them, I should have the confidence in them. I mean, if they're good enough for Kossuth County, they should be good enough for Vince Johnson.
No, they are good enough.
If I was you, I'd go with the guy that already did the work on it. Paperwork's all there.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Yeah, they wouldn't even have, you wouldn't have to do anything, they'd have it right there in Fort Dodge.
Yeah, I've talked to other engineers that work for these firms, they said it's basically, you go get what McClure did for the drainage, the spec in it, and he says, I don't wanna call it a rubber stamp, but he said, you know, we gotta go by what they have it spec'd out at.
Right.
Are they gonna spec your dirt too, your fill?
What's that?
Will they tell you what fill to use?
Well, I'm sure they will,
I mean, they've got so much clay, so much rock, so much this.
I'm sure they will, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna, wouldn't it be all right if we appointed McClure?
No, it's not okay. I wanna choose the,
Okay. But you.
I don't feel it's up to you guys to choose who I use for an engineer or who I use for a contractor. If you guys wanna pay for it, then you pick the engineer. If you don't wanna pay for it, then it's on my dime.
It is.
And if I pay for a licensed engineer that you guys currently are using, I don't see it as an issue.
Well, then we'll put this on the agenda again when you decide who you want for an engineer.
If we put it on the agenda, then I'm coming with, the engineer's report
That's fine.
that I use.
Works for me.
Okay.
We can either approve or disapprove of the report, and I guess in the end, at that time.
I'd like a motion made on it so that I know it's up to my choosing who I use for an engineer, and then it will be up to the approval of the board to accept the engineering report.
So you're gonna, so you're saying you're gonna pay for the engineering costs and everything, is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm gonna have to, unless you guys wanna choose the engineer, then you guys pay for it. And I'm fine if you wanna pick the contractor too, you can pay for that too.
Cheap. No. Big types ain't cheap.
I'll move it, request 2022-063, Vince Johnson is going to pay for engineering and installation and all costs associated with installing a cross pipe.
And then he should bring a report to
And
the
then
board.
he will pick the engineer and bring the report to the board for approval or disapproval.
Correct. That's your motion? You got all that down?
You want me to repeat it?
Yep.
Vince Johnson.
Well,
will-
let her.
Oh, okay, I thought you said I
No,
needed to have.
no, sir. Approve Vince Johnson to choose and hire an engineer for drainage request 2022-063 drain 4 and submit the engineer's report to the board for approval or disapproval.
And that he will, Vince Johnson will cover all the costs
At
And
his
pay
cost.
for it.
at his cost.
At his cost. I'll second Jack's motion. Any more discussion on the motion?
I still don't know why we have a individual choosing something
He's
that's
paying
going to
for it.
be
He's paying
overseen,
for all-
going through a
He's paying
district
for all,
facility.
the drainage district isn't gonna pay for it, he's gonna pay for it all himself.
It's always been that way in the past, Kyle, even though the record probably don't indicate that. We don't spend other people's money without their approval. Do a roll call vote.
Stecker,
No.
Casey,
Yes.
Loss.
Yes.
Platt,
Yes.
Jerks.
Yes. Motion carried.
Okay, then get it on the agenda when you have your report.
Yeah, it shouldn't take long. And a county employee he's gonna do the work. Dale Colash will do the work for me, so.
Not as a county employee, but his own
No,
private
he does.
business. Just to make
He
sure.
does- He does a lot of work,
Right.
tile work and stuff for me privately,
Correct,
so.
yeah.
He did the last creek crossing for us, so did a great job, so.
You caught that quick, Doug.
Just wanted to clarify it, Vince.
Well, unless I could get him to do it all the time, got any extra trucks and stuff.
Yeah, there. We are up to discussion with county auditor.
Thanks, Doug.
I think you guys have seen this letter before. or do I need to see the actual letter? It did say at the end that if we had a reply, or if we had any other comments, or any additional information that I would look at to let them know. So if you do have any information and want me to put it on the agenda, let me know, and I can do that. If not, I will just file it away. Do you need to notify, anybody?
We have to acknowledge it and
Okay, so you want me to
put
put
it
it
on
on
the
the agenda
agenda
for next?
so that we can acknowledge the letter. Anybody want anything else on the agenda for that? We'll acknowledge the letter. You'll be in drainage.
Okay. And then right now, we're getting ready, starting our evaluations and finishing up our TIF. Our county TIF for Buffalo Township and the cities all are turning in their TIF stuff for me to reconcile, so we're busy with that. We're starting on budgets. I'm getting letters and budget worksheets out to all department heads today, with the request that they be back December 23rd, so that we can do budget workshops the first week in January. So the week of the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, we'll be doing budget workshops. I'm gone the next week, and Jack will be gone the next 3 weeks, so we need to get those done the first week in January. I'm also setting up dates for the comp board to meet before the first of the year, and then we have to do oaths of office the week before January 3rd, January 2nd, because January 2nd is the first official day for the newly and re-elected officials. But because that's a holiday for us, and they have to be sworn in by noon that day, we'll do it the week before, so.
The 27th, you know?
Do you want it the 27th? The 27th doesn't work for Karen Bensker, so, I was looking at like the 28th, 29th, or 30th. And I haven't contacted the clerk's office to see if there's any judges available yet. I wanted to check with department heads, so.
Why don't you check with them, and we'll
I
have all
did.
come in on one of those dates, 28th, 29th, or 30th.
Okay. Everything works so far. Kyle may be gone.
I should be around.
And I talked to those two, and they were both.
Are they both available? I
Well, I
can't
hadn't
see.
heard from Carter, but
Yeah,
Josh
I'm-
was.
You're gonna make it work if we give you a day, or?
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
Any of those days will work.
And then Kyle may be gone on vacation, he's not sure yet, so we need to do something for him.
Close all business, finish all business.
And that's all I have.
Well, they're sworn in, aren't they, the ones up?
Yeah.
We have to do old business, so.
Yeah, if anything's left over, usually the old board sits there
We'll
until,
have to close out the year.
so you close the year out.
Is your open discussion over?
Yes.
I had a deal on a tile I wanted to ask you, but I can bring it next week too.
I was gonna bring that up in board discussion, we can talk about that there.
What is it,
Good.
about drainage?
This is about a tile, but we got in and televised some stuff, so yeah.
Well,
I'm done.
we done?
I'm done with mine.
We can officially say we'll go back and do some drainage.
Yeah, so
You want
I guess,
back in here?
Yeah, do you want mine to
Yeah.
come back?
If you got something.
so we
on file,
had,
Do
We
you
haven't
want,
closed out yet, so.
okay, it's in Greenwood, 6, it's lat 27X. I don't know if you want a map of it, I don't know what you want, but I've been working on this thing since about 2000, actually before 2008, and I ended up putting my own main in underneath of the county main to drain it out. It's an 18-inch tile, it never takes water, or it drains out about like a 6-inch tile. And I've asked for it to be televised or dug up, and at one time they had Thompson dig it up. And they said it was all fine, it was running water, but it runs water really slow, no matter what kind of water you have on top of the intake, because I put big intakes on top of it. It only runs out about like a 6-inch tile. So I put my own main in, which cured the problem for a while, but now I'm into more pattern tile, I keep laying tile into it. And it's still the same way, so I finally asked a request to televise it. So they went in last spring from the blacktop in halfway, and then they ran out of time, so they quit, and that part was good. So they went in from my intake, it runs harder out of the backside of this thing than it does the front side. And they found out that an 18-inch tile that's got 6 inches of sag in it, and there's one tile in there with 6 inches of garbage in it. So basically, you're down to about a 6-inch tile. And there's 650 feet in there that sags in where it's broke, out in the middle of the field. And I guess basically everything on this lateral I either rent or I farm, or, I mean, there's very little, but I don't wanna really put the expense on the landowners because they just fixed a chunk in it before. And I guess my question is can I fix that 650 feet with plastic? I'm gonna have to bed it with rock to get my 6 inches back, or is that something I have to have the county do, or what can I do? And I've got pictures of what I've done, I mean, I don't know if you wanna see what I'm talking about.
And we've got the televising and all that stuff,
Yeah.
so.
The problem is that it's gonna have to be okayed by the board if it's a district tile.
Yeah,
Do you want a map of it, or do you wanna know what I'm talking about, or?
Yeah,
I mean, I got the county map and I got a regular map. I don't know which one you want. It goes into Seneca 1 at the end of it.
the end of it's in Seneca.
Yes.
yeah, the upper end.
Right here is actually, it drops in on P30, and I put a main in there, if you can see that red line.
And it goes to which bridge?
Well, I don't know.
Plat 24, I think is the name or number on
Does that
it.
go into?
Right there's a county tower on it backwards,
Yeah, well, that's not unusual.
but on the other end, it don't run, at the blacktop where it's supposed to run, it doesn't run at all. My 24 inch is carrying everything right now.
So I guess my question is, did you take any elevations on the part that works when they were?
No,
Well,
they-
the one
they
thing that's a
went-
little
they
weird
went
about
in-
this, and I'm gonna tell you, I ran my own 24 inch of 10th grade, and I'm probably a foot and a half under the county tile,
Yeah, it's substantially under there.
which is a little weird. But they
And
say they
I
got a
haven't
6 inch
gotten-
sag in it.
Yeah, I haven't gotten any elevations, but from what we can see on the televising and stuff, there was definitely.
But there is also a issue in Seneca 1 because we replaced the
Yeah.
section in there, they lost grade in too.
Yeah, well, my question is 650 feet of 18-inch tile. Beyond the threshold where we need to have an engineer appointed?
No,
Right here it runs. That's in Greenwood 6 there, that's where I laid in, and then in Seneca 1, they already replaced that piece there.
Okay.
Because that also lost elevation. That was almost 6 inches too, if I remember right.
yeah, that was bad as well.
Kind of an ugly one. And I've been at it for a while. I mean, I put that main in 2008. So, but the problem that I have is pretty much everything that's on it is either I own or I farm, so I don't really wanna be a detriment to all the landowners. I'm gonna end up paying for it anyway in rent.
Well, you want to, you got a request filed on this, Tom?
So we had one for sure to investigate, I don't know, what specifically it said, but there was one to televise, so that's what we were working off of to check it out. But he's wanting to replace the section and, take care of it that way,
Well, it's a county.
rather than putting the expense through the courthouse, through the district, paying interest when he can't pay the bill. He's trying to cut out the middleman and,
You know, the trouble is, it's a district tile, we can't cut off the middleman.
We have to run it through here. It's a county tile.
The district's gonna pay for it, tear it down.
Well, it's gotta go through the
Yeah,
district.
they will if it goes that way.
if it does, that,
That's the way it has to.
It'll just be a simple repair, and he can choose who he wants to do it. Who you gonna have do it?
I don't know, I was gonna do it myself originally, but It's, I haven't got that far, and I wanna talk to the other landowners before I just say we're gonna do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, and he has to have insurance or he can't do
Yeah,
it.
you gotta have insurance and be.
And then whoever, if it doesn't. It's a short job.
Yeah,
yeah,
why don't you just choose a contractor that's licensed and insured and put it on a drainage request and do it.
Okay.
It'll come underneath the threshold of what we can spend, so. Then it'll all be.
Will it be
recorded.
plastic then, or have to go back to concrete, or what do you want? Right now it's clay.
no,
You
it
can
can,
put
it
plastic
can
in.
be plastic.
As long as you bed it in rock,
That's gonna have to be better than rock, because they're gonna have to raise it 6 inches.
yeah.
Yeah,
If that's good with you,
That's fine with me. I wanted to, that's
Just
that's
let me
fine,
know.
that's why I'm here actually, because I didn't know if I could actually do it myself or not, and that's why I am here.
County town.
Marge, you make a notation of that.
Is this lateral 27X?
Yeah, it's 27X.
yeah.
Okay, I think that's all we need, we don't have a motion on it.
You don't have to request it.
Right.
So do I turn this back in as a repair then, go down and fill all it?
Yeah.
Right,
Just do it as a normal repair?
do it as normal repair.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. You're done? Tammy?
Oh, yeah, no, sorry.
Okay.
I'm done.
Okay. Kyle, you have any report?
Yeah, I had a workforce development meeting yesterday in Storm Lake. We were talking about, merging and all that stuff that I'd brought up previously. Probably we'll be looking at having it on the agenda sometime, don't know if it'll be before the end of the year or not, but we're gonna have to be moving with those discussions, so. That's meeting I had got IDDA on Friday, there's also a third judicial district meeting on Friday as well, kinda at the same time, so. To see what I end up doing that way, but
Mr. Casey?
I didn't have any extra meetings, I just had normal people call about this and that, the wind towers, the carbon line, just the normal calls.
I've heard nothing about the lawsuit on Summit.
No.
They haven't enlightened you anybody?
No, I heard that it's supposedly the pipeline getting moved now, it's getting, instead of, what would it be? Half to 3/4 mile, it'll be a quarter to half mile from my place now. They're moving it further south is what I hear, this room right here.
Okay.
Cause there's a couple landowners that gave permission to go through, and one landowner that they told me gave permission, I talked to the guy in the grocery store the other day, and he said, I haven't given permission. So it's, he said, she said.
Mr. Loss?
I had Care Connections meeting last Tuesday afternoon. We had 16 calls in October for mobile crisis, which is a lot. And for some reason, October just seems like it spikes, and they really don't know why for mental health cases. Our fund balance was $2,598,351.07. Just went over a couple new contracts with Mary Hill and then we went over our annual report, which she has to certify to the state. Melissa wanted to come over in December sometime and go through the board, and I advised her she'd probably be better to wait till January to come through it with the board members. So sometime Tammy should call you, try to get on the agenda for January. We were approving the report, she's gonna send it to the state. And that is all I have.
Jack?
We had an early childhood meeting, first we started with a finance meeting to go over all of the, literacy grant applications, and this year we have $29,796.85 in applications. Last year we had $16,770.39. This is money that goes to like libraries, for literacy, which is to do with books and programming and stuff like that. So then we went to the regular meeting, a few new people, so we had introductions. We approved the budget and expenditures. meeting times for 2023 were approved, and we now have a meeting at 9:30 for finance, and we have it at 10 o'clock for regular board meeting instead of at 11:30 and 12. That seems to be working better for most people. We approved, at the last reading, approved the changes to the bylaws, got a few little changes there. And then the whole board approved the literacy grant applications. On family credentialing, they've given all the programs a one-year extension. They were not getting it done in a timely manner. They weren't getting enough support from the state, so they've given all the programs a one-year extension for that credentialing. Tuition assistance, administrative update, there's 30 kids that are currently getting tuition assistance. CCNC, we're still working, see who's gonna cover our county's, because of Webster County, there's been a change in Webster County, is gonna be doing it anymore. So there's a couple of gals there that are kinda in limbo right now with their job, waiting for everything to get approved and get them basically a new job with whoever's gonna be covering our counties. Chips Off the Blocks, they donated some wooden play blocks for home visitation. They had a picture of it, they showed us yesterday, it's kind of a cool little thing. And Kossuth Care Team at Lellingham's Nursery gave a presentation there, serving 4, 0 to 1 kids, 5, 1 to 2 year, 9, 2 to 3, 6, 3 to 4, 8, 4 to 5 year olds, and 4 to 5 year olds. 397 families are serving 467 children, 26 children were screened, 33 referrals. They had 2 parent workshops. Dr. Amy Shanson answered questions about children's health and pregnancy. They did a self-defense class. DHS did an inspection and they passed. Hosted a chamber coffee. 2 police officers visited and discussed their duties and services provided. The officers showed children the equipment they wear. During Fire Prevention Week, a fireman brought a fire truck to show the children. The kids were able to see what a fire truck does and how firefighters help. Miss Vera has been volunteering her time on Mondays to read stories and sing songs. Public health nurse checked immunization records for children. And the AEA has visited to observe some of the children. And then Palo Alto Growing Healthy Kids gave theirs presentation, some of the challenges that they're facing with staffing. Trying to get more referrals, working on credentialing renewal. They did a kind of a neat program, Touch a Truck event in September, where about 40 families came and they had all kinds of different trucks, from fire trucks to ambulances to whatever. And the kids were able to go out, sit on them and kind of explain what they do. Stories with Sam is going to be held December 8th from 4:30 to 6:30. And they had a success story that they went over. So that's kind of what they had, and then
I'll send that document.
I guess that was it.
I did say
I didn't have any games last week. Is there anything else to come before the good of Kossuth County? Hearing nothing. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Motion by Plath, second by Casey.
Yes, sir.
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.